Okay, welcome back to Facebook Ad Product Launch Strategies. And in this video, we're going to be discussing uh, if you want to drive people to a webinar or you want to drive them to some kind of education and you want to use GoToWebinar as your service provider and you want to use their registration setup. Now, there is a slight problem with doing that. And some of you will undoubtedly want to use GoToWebinar because when you are educating internet marketers, even though you can use other services and you can use Hangouts, probably the gold standard for internet marketers in terms of conversion to buy is GoToWebinar. That is what they are used to, and you can have a consistent experience with them using GoToWebinar. Now, one of the things that you can do, obviously, you want to be able to collect names and email addresses, but now GoToWebinar doesn't really allow you to do that through their interface. As a matter of fact, they give you the emails at the end where they control the time and dates and all the parameters where you are going to um, send email to your clients or to your new customers. Now that though is going to be unacceptable, especially if you're paying for traffic. So you don't want to, on the other hand, put a sign up in front of there, right? So you don't want people to have to sign up twice because that's going to turn them off and they may not even come onto your webinar to buy. So you don't want to use too many signups in the process. And so you want to be able to have one sign up, and you want to be able to have them sign up one time, but you want to have that sign up happen so that they get into the webinar and they also get your newsletter, or they get access to getting email from you, or you get access to being able to email them. Now, what we're going to do in order to help this situation is to use the service provider called Zaprier, Zaprier.com, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute. Now, Zaprier has a number of different applications, but it's basically used to integrate two unrelated services. That's pretty much what Zaprier does. And for folks who like to have email as a result of their interaction with or as a result of their using certain services, sometimes that's a difficult thing to do, is to have that email transferred over into an autoresponder. Now, in this case, what you want to do is you're going to want to integrate GoToWebinar with Aweber or whoever your email service provider is. And what's now, you might ask, now, what's the benefit of all this? Why would we do this? Why would it be worth all this trouble? Well, the benefit is that you can offer education. And sometimes people are going to be more willing to be educated than they are to a sales pitch. And so you can invite them to the sales pitch, or you can invite them to the webinar, where you give a sales pitch, but you can invite them to the webinar, knowing that even if you were to just do education for an entire session, that you would still be collecting the names and email addresses if you use Zaprier. So let's take a look at Zaprier. Okay, so now I'm inside of the service provider Zaprier, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just type in GoToWebinar here, right? And you'll see, okay, here's GoToWebinar. So what we're going to do is we're going to find all of those things where GoToWebinar is integrated. And here we see that you can actually create, let's say, a GoToWebinar registrant from Aweber, right? So we can bring people to a page, right, and bring them to Aweber and then have them automatically registered for GoToWebinar. Now we can probably do the same thing. We can also, and let's kind of take a look at this here. Now, there are 24 pages here, so we're just only going to go through a few of them. Now, here's what we want to do. We want to integrate an Aweber subscriber from GoToWebinar. So we want to have people sign up with GoToWebinar, and then we want to have them go to our autoresponder. And we want to do that one time, and that's what Zaprier does. Zaprier can also do this with GetResponse. So your major autoresponders will integrate with Zaprier, and it gives you the opportunity to educate, knowing that you'll still be building your list at the same time, and for some that's going to be enticing, and so you want to use that to your benefit. And this is an alternative if you want to use this, and you want to use this apart from let's say Google Hangouts. Okay, so that's about it. And with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video.